Today we are taking the #1 ranking recipe for Butterfinger cake and we're stacking it against my homemade rendition. Now I know that going from box cake mix to a homemade cake mix is definitely going to require a little more effort. So I've got my good friends Leah and Bless coming in today. I'm gonna blindfold them, put both cakes in front of them, and they're gonna tell you if it's worth it or not. I'm really hoping these two don't disprove my entire baking belief system and that homemade desserts will always prevail. In our house, Butterfingers are most definitely in our top 3 favorite candy bars. So when I was browsing through Pinterest one day and I saw that there was such thing as a Butterfinger Poke Cake, you better believe I was on it. When I started looking into these Butterfinger cakes, I noticed that every single one in the top ranking position on Google was made with pre-made cake mixes and a Cool Whip topping. I truly believe that taking the time to make something special from scratch can result in way better flavor and phenomenal results. I'm thinking this homemade Butterfinger Poke Cake is going to be a recipe totally worthy of your time and your taste buds. So here I have the #1 ranking recipe for Butterfinger Poke Cake, and it is titled The Best Butterfinger Cake. We shall see. The best Butterfinger cake recipe on the internet, ready for the taste testers. On to my homemade Butterfinger cake. So this is a sieve. I'm using a bowl larger than I need so that I can attempt to not get flour on my clothes. Probably wishful thinking. Here we go. So this is the dry ingredients. Now it's time to get on to the wet ingredients. It really helps when you're baking from scratch for all of your ingredients to go in at room temperature. So if I forgot to set out my eggs like a good baker, sometimes I'll just plop my eggs in a bowl of really warm water and just let them sit out for about 30 minutes. This will bring them at least close to room temperature, and it'll just be better for the batter this way. I'm gonna add my eggs into the stand mixer while the stand mixer is running. So to make sure that I don't get any shells in there, I'm gonna go ahead and crack them in a separate container first. I'm gonna need 3 large eggs. It's time to put a little peanut butter in this cake batter. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. Mix on low until you can see that it's fully incorporated. Now here's my disclaimer. I know that adding peanut butter to my cake mix is going to weigh it down a little bit. I can't stress enough, not necessarily going for light and fluffy. We're going for bigger, better, more delicious flavor. And now we're gonna finish off this cake batter by adding the dry ingredients in 3 additions and the buttermilk in 2. Start the mixer on low, stand back, and start adding. That looks like about 1/3 there. Any flour on my shirt? Oh my God. We were so close. Okay. did you think we were done? We're definitely not. We haven't added any Butterfinger yet. This was a point that really shocked me when I was looking over all of these other Butterfinger poke cake recipes. Where is the Butterfinger? So we are gonna add some Butterfinger directly to the cake batter. And we're just gonna spread this around, and I'm gonna clean up the sides a little bit. Now you can tell this batter is much thicker than the other batter. Like I said, this cake is gonna be a little denser. This is going to go in a 350-degree preheated oven for a total of 35 minutes. As promised, my homemade Butterfinger cake comes equipped with a dreamy, creamy, homemade whipped cream topping. So we're gonna start with 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Once the mixer starts to leave lines running through the cream, I think you're gonna be just about there. Let's check it out and see if we've got stiff peaks yet. So I'm just gonna swirl it around, turn the beater over, and if you turn the beater over and these are the peaks right here, if they don't move, you've got stiff peaks and your whipped cream topping is done. And while I'm waiting on my cake to finish baking, I'm also gonna go ahead and mix up that caramel mixture for my poke cake. So we've got our peanut butter Butterfinger cake hot out of the oven, and what we're gonna do now is just give it a little gentle poke, and if it springs back at you ever so slightly, your cake is ready. Now, you could use a fork to poke the holes in this Butterfinger poke cake, but I'm going to use the skinny end of my wooden spoon, and I'll show you why in just a second. And now what I'm gonna do is come in with some of that crushed up Butterfinger, and I'm just gonna drop some unbaked Butterfinger down in these little holes. Now we're just gonna set this aside and let it cool completely. You can pop it in the refrigerator if you need to speed along the process. And if you want to make this cake up to a day in advance, you can do it up to this point and just pop it in the fridge overnight. And now it's time to bring our homemade Butterfinger cake home. And this is it. We are ready for our taste testers. These are my precious friends, Leah and Bless, and they are going to pick my cake. I just know it.
Of course we are.
Do you guys know what you're taste testing?
No.
Okay.
No idea.
We are taste testing Butterfinger Poke Cake. Okay.
Good one.
And that's
Good.
all the information that I'm going to
Okay.
give them. Let's eat some cake. We have the first cake that we made. Leah,
Yeah.
open your mouth.
Oh, you're feeding me. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's cake number 1. Okay, Bless, your turn. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right. Are you excited?
I'm thrilled.
Okay, open your mouth. Sorry. Okay, that's cake number 1. Initial thoughts, you can be as brutal as you want. Anything you like about it, anything you don't like about it.
I would prefer a cake that there's like there's some kind of gritty texture in there. It could be the Butterfinger, but I like a smooth,
Okay.
fluffy.
Okay.
It was something.
It was something. Do you need another bite?
It's like I can't see anything, but I can see Bless going.
It's like I don't know. I wasn't like OMG.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was cake number
It
1.
was good, but I.
Okay. They're a little more critical than I thought they'd be, but that's okay. These are 2 of my most honest friends. Bring cake number 2, please, Kami. Okay. All right, Bless, you get to go first this time. Okay.
Are you feeding it again?
Yeah, of course I'm going to feed you because I'm a good friend. Okay, this is a big bite. Open your mouth wide. Okay. Okay, so there's one. And Leah, open up.
Where is?
Way better. Way better. More fully. Like
It's more-
something. It's just
more
more
dense.
dense.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
good.
I want to eat the whole cake though, so you're gonna have to speed this up.
Okay, well, listen, that's all I needed to know. It's proof that homemade is always best.
Yay! Way better. Instantly.
Woo! Oh, that is amazing. Oh
Right.
man, I was really sweating it, guys, because that homemade or the box mix cake is so tender, you know? But I was convinced that you could pack more flavor into a homemade cake.
You tasted
sure.
more Butterfinger in there.
Oh, yeah, you
More
did.
Butterfinger. And the cake part is
Thick.
denser and
Thick, yeah.
the, I don't know. It's good.
Okay, well, the proof is in the cake. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more cake recipes from the Anthony Kitchen, be sure to check out my Texas sheet cake next.